But here we go. We're loading on in. Game number 1 is going to be on Ancient Cistern. Here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern. We have the French Terran player representing Team Liquid, fighting his way through Dark to get into the grand finals. It is Clem. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have his opponent. We have the other Terran player, but the South Korean Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. Now, we have been seeing quite a bit of TvT from ByuN recently, but I don't know how much stock we can really put it, to be fair, as he does go for a much faster gas here. I don't know how much stock we can put into it, because we've been casting a lot of ByuN versus Maru specifically, and ByuN versus Maru gets really weird, because there's just, they just get really hyper-aggressive. They're really good friends, so because of that, there's a lot of metagaming going on. They usually chat with each other quite a lot, and they banter with each other, and things get really crazy. Here against Clem, I imagine ByuN's going to be a little bit more serious instead, so even though I do expect to see some proxies this series, we're at least not going to be starting with that from ByuN. As Clem is going for a double gas opener here, ByuN otherwise is going to be going for a Rax Expand, so a much more economic opener from ByuN, no fear whatsoever, on Ancient Cistern. It is a larger map, but it's always a bit of a risk to do something like this, especially because of how common things like proxies are, but yeah, he's going to be going for, again, something more economic and looking to get away with it. Meanwhile, Clem, prioritizing his gases, is going to be staying on one base a little bit longer. Already working on his... Oh, actually, no, sorry. Going Reactor first, even. Oh, my God. Reactor first into these Reapers, into soon-to-be Hellions as well. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. Clem looking to be the aggressor in Game 1. Meanwhile, ByuN with his first Reaper is going to be scouting around looking for any kind of proxies on his side of the map, making sure that he doesn't get caught with his pants down, caught unawares. Oh. As that Reaper Hellion production is continuing for Clem. Of course, this isn't all-in by any means, it's just an aggressive opener that leads into your later expansion. Again, with this, the onus is going to be on Clem to pick off some SCVs and deal some damage across the map to kind of make up for this later CC. We'll see if he can. As ByuN behind this is going to be going into earlier Marine production, he's going to be staying back at home. I mean, again, ByuN, no fear. No SCV scout, no Reaper scout, no nothing. He doesn't give a damn. He doesn't care what Clem is doing across the map. He's just getting ready to receive and getting ready to defend back at home instead. A defensive Widowmine on the way as well. Love to see it. And Clem is going to be working up towards... I was going to say 5 Reapers. No, sorry, 6 Reapers here for Clem. Ay, ay, ay. 6 Reapers, 3 Hellions, zooming across the map. The Widowmine does burrow in time, but how good is the split going to be? Oh! Pretty damn good. 1 Hellion goes down. But the Concave is looking a little bit too good here from ByuN. Clem is forced back. Oh. And Clem is going to be looking to wait for some reinforcements. Again, I'm pretty sure he's hoping to catch ByuN off guard and not really expecting Clem to come in with more Hellions and more Reapers. And here we go. He's going for the fights, but out comes the medevac, and ByuN is going to be able to force this back once again. I love this. Picks up here into the medevac, boosts into the main, keeping up with the Reapers. But not quite. The Reapers do get into the middle line. At the same time, the Hellions are looking to dive in towards the natural base as well. Can ByuN keep up? The Marines do fend off the Hellions, but the Reapers are finding some SCV kills. 5, 6 SCVs going to be going down. Just enough here for Clem to equalize the worker count. I thought ByuN was keeping up with that drop, but no, Clem finds a way. He finds some of that damage. Pretty necessary damage again. Otherwise, he would have been pretty far behind in the worker count. Behind this, ByuN can go for a counterattack because he has that medevac, but for the time being, he's going to be chilling here back at home, getting into his own tank production. Raven as well. Likewise, so is Clem, as they both have some drop play available. They both went into their own respective defensive cyclones, into their medevacs. We'll see where things go from here. Behind this, as soon as ByuN defended, he did throw down his third CC, so he's going to have that advantage here. He's looking to, again, maintain the economic lead that he wanted in the early game. We'll see if he can get away with it, because Clem is looking to sneak out across the map. There is a Cyclone shocking around for any kind of stray medevacs, but it looks like this medevac should be able to avoid it. The Cyclone is headed towards the south instead. Oh my god. As ByuN is getting ready for a tank drop, depending on when he moves out, yep, he just lifts everything up. He's going to be going across the map with everything he has, which means he's not going to have much at home to defend against the one singular drop of Clem. Ooh, the Marines, they get in, they're going to be able to delay the third CC. ByuN doesn't turn around, he's already committed, going across the map. We do have one Cyclone at home to defend, and he's going to be able to force that medevac back, but the Marines are going to be looking to get on top of it. They get the tank! Ooh, tank going down. These Marines are getting so much value here, but ByuN is across the map. He goes to the Doom Drop into the main base, dives on top of the tank as well, but the medevac gets focused down. The Marines fall, GG gets called. Clem was waiting for him. ByuN was losing too much across the map as well. Clem takes game number 1. GG. Things escalating very quickly. But yeah, ByuN risking quite a lot by going for the Doom Drop across the map, and you know, when you go for a Hail Mary play like that, you're hoping that your opponent is not in position, or if they are in position, I mean, you have a third base behind it, right? But ByuN didn't. ByuN had his delayed because of Clem's own counterattack. Oh, GG. GG. Now we're getting into game number 2. As a reminder, I don't think I mentioned it, but because this is the grand finals, this is a best of 5, not a best of 3. So plenty more games ahead of us. And here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Babylon, we have the French Terran player representing Team Liquid and currently up 1-0 in this best of 5 grand finals. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Babylon, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. ByuN, the man with no fear. No scout whatsoever in game 1, going for a crazy Doom Drop without really having too much map awareness or map presence at all either. It's just how he plays. You know? How a lot of the Koreans play, to be fair. They take risks whenever they can. And we'll see how this works out. Once again, Clem is going for that double gas opener. Once again, going to be delaying his natural expansion. And likewise, ByuN is going for the Rex expand. So we're not really diverting here from our openers. From game 1 to game 2. The roles will be the same. And again, ByuN for the most part did a good job defending, other than the fact that I guess the Reapers did get out of hand in the main base. ByuN was having a hard time keeping up with those at least. We'll see if Clem can replicate that, as once again, just like last game, we have a reactor first. Reactor first, double gas, going to be going into our Reaper and Hellion production. Meanwhile, ByuN going for that CC on the low ground. No SCV scout. Could once again just avoid the Reaper scout as well, to be honest. Doesn't need it, Papi, doesn't need it. I mean, to be fair, it's one of those things where, one of the worst things you can do here is move out across the map with your first Reaper, just because if your opponent is opening up like this, they're going to have 2 Reapers, and if you lose 1 Reaper that early on too quickly, things can snowball pretty heavily. So, again, it does make sense that ByuN wouldn't be keen to do so. Just going to be scouting around his fringe bases. checking his third base locations. Making sure that he's safe back at home as he gets into his marine production. Again, the same opener he went for on Ancient Sister. Meanwhile, likewise, Clem is just going to be pumping out as many of his Reapers as possible. And deja vu. Deja vu, pa. And yeah, well, I guess we'll see if this opener works out again for Clem. I guess to kind of wind things back, and as a reminder, Clem did kill 6 SCVs with this opener in game 1, so he's going to be looking to do a similar amount of damage here. We saw after killing 6 SCVs, he did even up the worker count. So once again, we do have our 3 Hellions and 6 Reapers going to be zooming out across the map. ByuN, likewise, going to be setting up defensively back at home with his Widow Mines, with his Marines, getting his concave up and running. And there's that medevac as well, so we can counterattack, depending on how well he defends. Here we go, the first mine shot is going to be going off on a Reaper this time, not a Hellion. So he's going to have a little bit more splash damage available to him. Oh, does focus down the Hellion of ByuN. We're just going to be waiting for our next wave of reinforcements before Clem can push back up this ramp. His Hellions as well looking quite healthy. But a nice spread from ByuN, going to be minimizing that splash damage. Going to be keeping some units here in his main as well, waiting for that jump into the main. As Clem is just going to force his way in as well. Ooh, does have an overwhelming force. He does break through the Marines, and he's getting into the natural. Oh, the pickup micro, though, is barely able to save 3 of those Marines. But again, Clem just has a little bit too much on the ground. A Cyclone comes out just in time, gets a lock on those Reapers, but we're losing a lot of SCVs. Oh, no. ByuN, he lost 6 SCVs last time. This time he will lose 7. One more. He doesn't just lose more SCVs, he also loses a lot of his Marines as well, and that is going to weaken his counterattack. He's going for that Cyclone drop across the map to do something. But back at home, we have a defensive Cyclone, we have a Raven, we have Marines. Clem is going to be getting ready for it. I mean, he did scout the medevac. Oh, but ByuN! Oh my god. He gets the lock on the Raven, doesn't quite get it in the end, as he loses his Cyclone. So again, a better trade here for Clem. ByuN forced to back off once again, going for his 3rd CC. This time, so is Clem, though. Both players transitioning into their faster 3rds. I believe ByuN, he did not see it. Doesn't know. As at least ByuN was able to keep his medevac alive, so he's going to be going for another drop across the map. This is going to be a vanilla drop, as he does not have stim. His upgrades, of course, have been delayed, as he's going straight to tank and Raven production. Clem was able to transition into that a little bit faster. The reason for that is because Clem is only going for these 2 Ravens. Not going to be going for a 3rd. Likewise, so is ByuN. But there is going to be a window here where Clem has stim and ByuN doesn't. As I just sneezed. Both players going into Viking production, not medevac, so not as drop heavy play here from either player. That medevac, though, is slowly creeping in, is out there on the map. I'm a little bit worried, though, because that is supply that we're not going to have at home to defend. As Clem is moving out. This is designed to punish a 3rd base if it was thrown down on location. Breaking into the natural is going to be possible with the Ravens, but thankfully ByuN has started Viking production, so it's not going to be so easy to get on top of the tanks of ByuN. Reinforcements are being rallied across the map as well, which means ByuN doesn't have a lot to defend back at... Sorry, Clem doesn't have a lot to defend back at home, as ByuN is pushing in. Oh! I'm trying to be cheeky with his Vikings. Trying to pick off a couple of those Ravens. And here we go. The drop is coming in. 3 SVs is going to be going down. A lot of lost mine time here at the natural. Oh, we get a lock on the medevac, though. So Clem is going to be able to clean this up. But, oh, that's a lot of SCV kills. Oh, my God. The target fire. As 8 SCVs and a mule go down. Oh. Very nice counter damage done there by ByuN. But as he killed SCVs, Clem is able to get his third base up and running. ByuN has his third, but he hasn't been able to land on location because of this contain. So because of that, we're kind of trading tit for tat here. Clem with better mining, just a lower SCV count. ByuN with higher SCVs, but less bases. You see though, ByuN wants to break on out. He does have barely the Viking lead. Pushing on forward. Let's take down 2 of the Vikings of Clem. But he still can't break out. The contain is just a little bit too good. And this ramp is just such a narrow choke point. Like, pushing down this ramp is going to be so difficult here for ByuN. Once again, pushing forward with his Vikings. Taking down another Viking of Clem. And with that, ByuN still being contained is going to be going for a double drop here. Actually looking to maybe even surround this army. Oh! The Vikings are coming on in again. Clem losing a little bit too much. The drop actually going straight for the third base instead. Clem is ready here at the natural, but not quite at the third. ByuN forcing a lift off here. Getting some SCV kills, and this is actually forcing Clem all the way back home. A beautiful counter drop here from ByuN. Oh, the Ravens! Oh. Be careful, Poppy, be careful. Catching a couple of these Vikings. Oh, the Ravens! Once again, a Raven is going to get targeted down. A little bit of a slip up there by Clem. And with this, ByuN can finally expand. Not just expand, but killing a Raven is pretty huge. That is that much less to worry about when it comes to those disables, and ByuN can break free. He's moving out across the map. He has the higher Viking count because he has been shaving off that Viking count of Clem one after another. He's got more Ravens as well, which will impact the tank war. Here we go, who sieges first? ByuN is slightly first to siege. The Ravens do go down, and ByuN, he disables almost every single tank of Clem. The disables are just too damn good. GG gets called, and ByuN fights back and takes game number 2. Oh. The counter drop, Papi. Doing so much damage, forcing a reaction, and trading so well. Things are looking pretty dire for ByuN, you know? He was stuck on 2 bases for so long. But it's all good. It was all a part of the plan, Papi. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. And we see it doesn't matter if the tank count is equal, those Ravens. Doesn't matter that they even got nerfed a little bit as well when it comes to their energy in that latest patch. They do sway battles quite heavily. And now we have a tied up series. We are tied up 1-1, and we're going into game number 3 to see who gets a little bit of momentum in this series. Who is able to take that lead? Is it going to be one Terran or the other? And are we going to see some deviations in the openers? We keep seeing the same thing. We'll see, Papi. We'll see. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gressman, we have the French Terran player representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gressman, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And I said it before, I expect a proxy at some point in this series, and I expect it to be from ByuN. But for the time being, that's not what we're really going to be seeing. Not yet, anyway, not yet. Clem is going to be moving out across map with his SCV. And, oh my god, hello. We are going to be setting up here out in the middle of the map as well. Behind this, ByuN is going to be going for a 2 Rax opener. Okay, I thought it was going to be setting up for another Rax expand, but no, never mind. Second Rax is thrown down, but a second Rax is also thrown down for Clem. So great minds think alike. 2 Rax versus 2 Rax. But things are going to be a little bit odd here. So ByuN is going to have the defender's advantage. He's going to be able to reinforce far quicker than Clem, despite the fact that Clem wants to be the aggressor. I do think that this setup is just better for ByuN. On top of that, if Clem is ever forced back, then his production is going to be a little bit haphazard. Part of it's going to be out in the middle of the map as well. It is going to be compromised. Yeah, we'll see how this dynamic does shape up here. On top of that, the first racks for Clem was back at home, so ByuN is going to have the Reaper first. Oh my, never mind. It is a proxy second racks, but we have a tech lab instead. Oh my god, okay. Show me the Marauders. Alright. We have some StarCraft. Is ByuN gonna scout this? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. ByuN is gonna be going up this ramp and he barely doesn't see it. Oh my god. How? He barely does not come across the proxy. He's gonna be going across the map instead. Is the second Reaper gonna see? Is he? Oh. Does he see the SCV? No, he doesn't see the SCV either. But he will get into the main base, and this is gonna get weird. This is already getting weird. So Clem is gonna be able to shut down the first Reaper here of ByuN, taking a lot of hits as well. ByuN doesn't really have too much momentum going his way. Meanwhile, he does finally come across the proxy. He does spot that Marauder in the middle of the map. Oh boy, Marauders with concussive shell can pick off Hellions and Reapers one after the other. We have a bunker as a reaction. Hellions being produced. Boys are being pulled to repair. The Marauder has arrived. I do love this from ByuN though. He still has two Reapers across the map. He's looking to try and do some counter damage, slip into that mineral line. Meanwhile, the boys are being pulled just to try and tank some shots here. Reapers do hold on to the bunker, will finish. Meanwhile, ByuN, he's in that mineral line. He's even able to delay that factory. Oof. There we go. 1, 2, 4. Oh my god, soon to be 5 SCVs going down. This is getting out of hand. The Reapers even go down as well. And Clem isn't really making too much headway here across the map. Eventually the Reaper is going to go down, but ByuN is able to take a bit of a worker lead. He's got a CC on the way. He's safe and sound on top of this ramp. And Clem has to transition, and his transition, by the way, is to stay on one base and go into a 1-1-1. It's going to be delaying his natural by quite a bit. He's looking to go for a tank drop, I believe. Oh boy. Here we go. We found ourselves in a really weird place. ByuN being contained to one base. But yes, Clem is pretty all in with this. We have that medevac on the way. He's going to be sending his tank across the map as soon as possible. He can't afford to lose these Marauders though. That's 1, 2 Marauders are going to be going down. He's trying to focus on the Cyclone and he will get it. Three Marauders for a Cyclone. I still think a better trade here for ByuN. Especially because now I don't know how well this tank drop is really going to work out. ByuN confirming that Marines are being rallied across the map. That is already a bit of a tell as well. Like, why would there be Marines here? Oh. This Clem is rallying everything across the map, even reletting this racks in the middle. Let's go. Is throwing down his CC on location. So he is looking to transition out of this eventually. Boy, but we'll see what he can get done. Thankfully, because he killed the Cyclone earlier, he can't really be punished, or his medevac can't really be punished here. He's going to be sieging up on the high ground. Meanwhile, ByuN, he just picks up and he goes across the map immediately. Clem, once again, doesn't have a lot at home to defend. Especially because his production is all over the place. He's going to be focusing on this push instead. He does have that high ground vision with the medevac. Oh, it is within range though. Boys are being pulled. The Marines do come out as well. ByuN will be losing his tank, but so will Clem. And at the same time, we have the drop into the main base. The tank count gets reset. Marines get dropped. What do we have at home to defend? We have 1 Marine and soon to be 1 Liberator. Oh boy, the boys have to be pulled, but Stim is done. Oh, the surround. ByuN's focus, his attention is back at home instead. Just be careful not to lose the drop across the map. It's going to be forcing the Liberator to respond. Clem, though, doing a decent amount of counter damage. Forces ByuN to stay on one base. Tank's going to be slowly sieging upon that ramp, but oh, Clem, he loses his Marines. Takes those tank shots to the face. Eventually, Clem is holding on back at home. He's defending. But ByuN still has a massive worker lead. He's up 10 workers, 9 workers to Clem. Breaks on down here. Breaks free. GG gets called, and Clem is not going to try and play out from that position. ByuN will take a lead in this series 2-1. GG. Oh my god. And I guess technically Clem was the first to proxy. There we go. I thought it would be ByuN, but Clem trying to be a little bit fancy with that proxy marauder. Unfortunately, running into a 2-racks opener of ByuN. So he did have that defender's advantage. Was able to kind of cause a little bit of chaos by counterattacking with his own Reapers. GG. And with that, we are getting into game number 4. Game number 4 will be taking place on Dragon Scales. And it looks like the vetoes were Neo-Humanity and Altitude. I mean, not surprising. The two more stranger maps in the map pool. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have the French Terran player sending his SCV across the map immediately, representing Team Liquid down in this series, but not out. It is Clem. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Just keep proxying, Poppy. Speaking of proxying, great minds, they think alike, because ByuN also we have a Clown Fiesta, Poppy. 2-racks versus 2-racks in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales. We have the South Korean Terran player leading this series, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. You thought last game was weird. Nah, man, you ain't seen nothing yet. Okay, so these situations can get really odd. Obviously, no one is at home to defend. No one has anything at home to defend. So typically what happens is both players will load up their CCs, lift off, and trade places. The Reapers will take control of the opponent's main base, kill a bunch of workers, and we're going to trade places. That is typically how this goes, and we can kind of reset the game a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see what happens as the Reapers are starting here for both players, and no one has SCV scattered each other, so no one knows what's going on until the Reapers show up. So, yeah, strap in. Strap in, Poppy, strap in. A lot of this, if we do end up in a base trade scenario, a lot of this does come down to the gas income. It does come down to how much gas both players have been mining, because that will kind of lead into how many Reapers they have to work with as well, once like their economies are shot. Oh boy. So here we go. Right now we're just banking up those Reapers. We're waiting for 3 to show up for both players before we do dive in, or waiting for 2 even. Here we go. ByuN is the first to react, the first to respond. He's going straight into the main base. Meanwhile, Clem is going around the long way. He's going to be going towards the natural instead. So Clem is going to be hitting first. And there we go. He does reveal his Reapers. Clem now knows he's on a timer. He has to break into the main. SCV's falling here for both players already. The boys are being pulled. There is a world, by the way, where if players get surrounded, like they're going to lose their Reapers to the SCVs. But they shouldn't, as the control is going to be good for both players here. I like this a little bit from Clem. He's focusing on mining. He didn't pull boys to fight the Reapers. He knows that he needs to mine as much as possible. And after all said and done, we should be trading places. We're going to be lifting up, and we should be good. And Clem mined more gas. Clem has a much larger gas bank. He's going to be able to build more Reapers, and that may just be it. that may just be game. Again, ByuN pulling the boys, I think, was a little bit ill-advised just because mining is so important. We just see him lifting up the CC, and there we go, we're lifting up the CC for Clem as well. Again, we're going to be trading main bases. But, yeah, Clem should have the higher Reaper count here as he is about to have 8. And, oh, actually, never mind. Hold on. We'll see it. We'll see what happens when the dust does settle. Looking at the units tab, we have equal Reapers right now. ByuN has 2 more on the way, and he's making Marines. Meanwhile, ByuN is out of money. That is it. He's out of minerals. He cannot build anything else. Clem still has some more minerals to work with, and he's going to be able to make more Marines. So he will have a larger army. The Marines are going to be a little bit less mobile, though. As Clem, he actually just floats to the center of the map, so he's actually going to be able to mine faster sooner. ByuN also rerouting towards the center as well. Alright, so ByuN has 9 Reapers and 1 Marine. About to be 3 Marines. Clem has, what does he have? He's got 8 Reapers and soon to be 5 Marines. So technically Clem is going to have the higher army supply, but only by a little bit. Meanwhile, we have the ramps. We have the SimCity. We're going to be slowing down. I feel like whoever attacks first, whoever tries to push up a ramp is gonna lose. This is gonna be very positional based. Oh boy. Meanwhile, mining is resuming here for both players. We're just muling as heavily as possible. ByuN does have more SCVs sooner as Clem reveals himself, and he has to be very careful to lose too much. Oh, we'll lose 1, 2, 3. These Reapers does trade a little bit, but oh god, I don't know if that was the best trade. Clem losing 4 Reapers here to the 3 of ByuN. Gonna try and rotate around. He's just rallying his Marines across the map. With this, he can try and camp the production. He can try and pick off these Marines as they come out, but ooh, ByuN is supply blocked. Uh-oh. So is Clem. Everyone's supply blocked, Papi. So here we go, we're pushing on into a concave as well. This is not going to work out here. We're going to be losing a lot of these Reapers, but we're coming from behind. The surround, Papi. Oh my god. Up a ramp into a concave, it doesn't matter. Clem comes in with those hero Marines. He takes everything out, and now he's camping the production. That's it. He can take down the Marines one after another. GG. GG, well played. Oh, Clem ties up the series 2-2, and we're going to the ace match, Papi. We're going in. We're going all the way. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. All right. I need to calm down, Papi. I need to calm down. Catching up in the chat. NA Ladder called once its strategy pack. Oh. Aye. Well, really, we're getting... Oh, there we go. We're getting what we want here. We're getting what we want. Game number 5. We're going all the way to the ace match. How will this story end? Let's find out. Let's go. Last game is going to be on Royal Blood. Oh boy. That was a game of StarCraft. It was. that was a game of StarCraft. Let's go. This is why people who hate TvT are the worst. I mean, that's like, look, they're the polar opposites of TvT. We can get some clown fiestas or we can get some snooze fests. But it's great to see some aggressive games here from our 2 players. And here we go. We're going all the way into game number 5 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood. We have our French Terran player representing Team Liquid, tying up that series 2-2 in a wild game. It is Clem. And spawning in the top right, again, it's top right hand corner of Royal Blood, we have his opponent, the South Korean Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Last TvT Snooze Fest was last patch. I wish that was true. I know Asher and I, they're a lot more rarer nowadays, which is a good thing, but Asher and I, we have come across them before. Thankfully, not too often. Thankfully. Oh. All right, here we go. This time, the Raxes, unfortunately, are back at home. Boo. Raxes are back at home, but Clem still wants to be the aggressor. Something about these last 3 games here. Game number 3 was, of course, the Proxy Marauder. Game 4 was the Proxy 2-Rax. And here, Game 5, we have the 2-Rax back at home. Back at home instead. Oh. Aye. Meanwhile, ByuN is going to be setting up for a Rax expand instead. So Clem looking to snowball and maybe try and catch ByuN off guard with the mass amount of Reapers. Let's go, Papi, let's go. I don't know how you hate this matchup. Hate is a strong word. Strong word, man. Here we go. Reapers, they're on the way. You know, back at home again, kind of a standard setup here. It's kind of interesting, like for the most part, outside of the proxy, to be fair. ByuN has been going for pure Rax expands against Clem. He likes it, man. He likes it. Maybe Clem has caught on to that. As ByuN is going to be just scouting around the third base locations, looking for any kind of proxy, make sure that nothing crazy is going on. Meanwhile, Clem is just building up that Reaper count back at home. Only boring matchup is EU PvP IMO. European PvP, I agree. It's, yeah. But to be fair, I feel like we're also influenced by like historical games as well. Like kind of like how TvT used to be boring. I feel like PvP used to be boring. I mean, maybe we just haven't seen enough of European PvP recently, to be fair. But here we go. The first 2 Reapers are making their way into the main base here, looking to overpower the 1 Reaper of ByuN. So far, pulling back quite well, but we'll lose the Reaper in the end. And now we're snowballing. Oh my god. If Clem can get on top of that Hellion, it could all be over. So far, a lot of SCVs are going to be going down. And he barely does save that Reaper. Oh my god. Clem not losing anything so far. Gonna be rotating on over here. We do have the Hellion being focused. Now the Hellion goes down the Reapers as well. Oh my god. ByuN, he's losing a little bit too much. Oh, the natural's gonna be cancelled as it barely almost finished. Clem is snowballing so hard here. He's gonna be rotating over towards that main base. Behind this, Clem is getting his own natural base up and running on location. Aye. And I think that's just game. The Reapers, there are just too many of them. There's just not enough production. GG gets called, and just like that, in the blink of an eye, Clem takes game number 5, and he will be this week's, or last week's, ESL Open Cup Americas champion. Whew. GG. Oh my god. Congratulations. And in a pretty intense and hectic turn of events, Clem again catches ByuN there with his pants down. A lot of it does come down to, like, when you're in that situation, obviously, if you're ByuN, you need to be very careful with your first units, with your first Reaper, with your first Hellion. They are your firstborns. You cannot throw them away. You cannot lose them like that, because once you do, things can snowball very quickly, as we saw. And to be fair, shout out to the control of Clem, because he didn't lose a Reaper. He didn't lose a single Reaper there in the initial engagements. That was crazy. The way that he was able to out-control and out-micro ByuN of all players. ByuN, you know, the micro, it's what he's known for. It's what he built his reputation off of. And for Clem to overpower him there is very impressive. Very impressive. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Clem as he does take the series and take the tournament. Ugh. Aye. GG. And yeah, hope everyone in the chat enjoyed themselves here. You know, I know this was a replay cast. This was a tournament that did take place last week, but here on the CranKy Ducklings, we try to cast everything that we can. And I mentioned it earlier, if you weren't here at the start of the broadcast, I didn't have internet last week. I missed out on so much casting. I hated myself for it. I felt so guilty. I felt so bad, like missing out on ESL Americas, missing out on Eric, missing out on Scarlet. I missed out on KSL, ESL Open Cup Asia, TTT, the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. I missed out on so much. So again, to reiterate, he's in the chat. Massive shout out to Asher, to Yaku, to Kuro. The other Ducklings, they did step up quite a bit last week, and they kind of took the reins, and they were able to keep the show running and keep some of the broadcasts going as well. So thank you so much. Asher, actually, he handled the production on the CranKy Ducklings for the first time yesterday. For the very first time. So thank you so much, Asher. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. Yaku as well. He actually handled the production for the first time in like 2 years. Like 2 years for Sparkling Tuna Cup. So yeah, the other Ducklings pulling their own weight. But of course, that means that this is going to be the first of many catch-up broadcasts. We did now finish up here with ESL Open Cup Americas. Shout out to Clem, by the way, really flaunting his aggressive style. We're also going to be catching up with ESL Open Cup Asia as well, that we did miss out on yesterday. Going to be catching up on KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, and also the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. Oh boy, when it comes to our next broadcast, it is going to be a KSL replay cast in a couple of hours. It is going to be in 4.5 hours. 4 hours and 20 minutes to be precise. This stream, this channel is going to be live once again for KSL. So if you missed out on the Korean StarCraft League over the weekend, then we will be covering that via replays. So oh boy, and now when I say we, I actually mean we, because I'm not going to be solo casting the whole thing this time. I'm going to be casting the first couple of rounds, and then Asher is going to be jumping in to help me cover the semifinals and the finals. We're also going to be doing a little bit of viewer replay casts after that as well, as they have been kind of piling up over the past week. That we haven't been able to touch them. We haven't been able to. So yeah, we're going to be able to get that done as well. Feels good, man. Feels good. Oh, we're catching up, Bobby. We're catching up. But yeah, I'm busy that week. shaking my head. I didn't watch these games at all. Oh, well, there you go. And again, if you are tuning in towards the end, I do highly recommend checking out the VODs, because we had a wild time casting Eric in this tournament. Scarlet was looking really good as well. Scarlet's series against Trigger was very impressive. Oh, game 1 was really impressive. Game 2 was a little bit smudged from Trigger. Didn't look too good. We also Trigger just made a little bit too many mistakes a little bit too often in game number 2. We also casted Scarlet versus ByuN earlier, and we had a really great series there as well. ByuN looking terrifying. He looked terrifying against Scarlet. Like game 2, if you can only watch one game, game 2 of ByuN versus Scarlet was actually crazy. It was actually just wild what happened. There's a world out there where Scarlet 2-0s ByuN. Like 100%. Oh god, so that was crazy. And yeah, if you want some more ESL Open Cup Americas action, we're going to be casting number 173 live tomorrow. So that's also why I wanted to squeeze in this broadcast as quickly as I could, because the next edition is in less than 24 hours. So if you can't stay up for another 4.5 hours, and if you have to go to bed soon, I understand. But we will have more casting tomorrow. We got you covered. The world was very quiet without you. You're like, I got used to the yelling every morning. That's how I would wake up in the early morning. You know, it's not a rooster, Poppy. It's it's live VIP with the CranKy Ducklings, and without it, it wasn't the same. Oh, I understand. But we're back, and again, I'm gonna try and cast as much as I can. I have to go to bed when the replay redeem starts. No, Asher, no, you're not going to bed. You're an animal. You're staying with me, Pop. You're staying with me. We're going to be casting Dave Testa. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be crazy. My internet is down. I hit it with a hammer. Oh, there you go. So yeah, I hope everyone had a great time here. Again, we're going to be back in 4.5 hours. Asher's freaking out in the chat. And followed by God would be a solid alarm clock. It would be. It would wake everyone up. Everyone up. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. Oh God. Hold on. Hold on. Just sending out some DMs here. Oh, Asher DM'd me. Tomorrow? Tonight. KSL is tonight, Poppy. It's tonight. But that's enough. Can you go down again? We're done. We're done, Bob. We're done for now. So again, thank you so much everyone for watching. If you want to tune into some of my own content, ! Light in the chat. I do typically stream throughout the week, but this week I don't think I'm going to stream too much on my personal channel. Just because I want to catch up, right? Just because I want to focus on casting here on the CranKy Ducklings. We got a lot to do. We got a lot to cast, so I don't think I'm going to stream too often. Maybe a couple of short streams here and there. But if you want to tune into our casting, the CranKy Ducklings, ! Socials in the chat. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We have a YouTube channel where we upload on a daily basis. And we also have a Discord server as well where you can interact with us outside of just these streams. So yeah, you can follow us wherever you want. If you want to support us as well, you can see just below the matchup, the Patreon goal. We do have Patreon set up here, and we have a lot of lovely supporters. We have, I believe, 10 supporters in total, so thank you so much to all of our patrons. All the money that we make on Patreon goes towards the tournaments that we host. We host 3 tournaments: Sparkling Tuna Cup, Grand Platypus Open, and the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. We do what we can for the StarCraft scene, for some of the smaller regions. And if you want to help us fund the event, and if you want to help us turn it from a bi-weekly into a weekly tournament, Patreon is where it's at. The 300 USD goal, that's just to cover the cost of running it bi-weekly. After that, the next goal will be that weekly as well. So hopefully we can get there. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So you can support us there. Otherwise, you can always subscribe on Twitch. You can even just follow us. Follow us here on Twitch. That is the least that we ask. The least that we ask. As we're live every day, multiple times a day. Multiple times. A lot of casting. A lot of casting, Poppy. A lot of casting. So with that, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We'll see you guys in 4 hours and 15 minutes for some KSL. Till then, bye. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching.